Movie Talk, Enchant-mas 2025. I apologize for the typo. I forgot to change that to 24 to 25. Okay, so first off, I'd like to apologize for not doing any movie talk videos since Frighttober 25 Scary Godmother. Unfortunately, it has been a little bit crazy for me and whatnot. Hopefully a lot of that will change now. So without any further ado, let's jump right into this year's Enchant-mas video. And it is a movie that is really cute. It goes in with two other movie talk videos I've done, movie talk videos on. And it is based on one of my favorite Christmas stories. And that movie is Barbie in A Christmas Carol. Barbie tells Kelly the story of Eden Starling, a self-centered diva singer who dislikes Christmas until one day she is visited by three spirits and warned to change her ways. Okay, so highlights of the movie. This movie was made back in 2008, so it's not old but not new. It's like a little over 10 years old. And it is a CG animated movie like all the Barbie movies are. And is a Christmas film. It is loosely based on Charles Dickens's novel A Christmas Carol. And by loosely based, I mean it does follow the plot line of A Christmas Carol. The very stingy person being visited by the spirit of someone they knew and warned to change their ways, and then visited by three spirits who show them the Christmas of the past, the present, and the future. But instead of it being but we'll get more into how it's different in the other part in the next slide. It is the 14th installment of the Barbie movie series, and the second Barbie Christmas movie, the first one being Barbie in the Nutcracker, which was Barbie's very first movie in this particular series. Okay, things I liked about this movie. First off, I like the characters, even though they were not the characters from A Christmas Carol, which I absolutely love. It was still good. They represented the characters they were supposed to represent very good. Eva Starling was, of course, supposed to be Ebenezer Scrooge. She even had the same initials. Christine, who was the costume designer was supposed to be Bob Cratchit. A little crippled girl named Tammy was supposed to be Tiny Tim. And then, of course, you had Eva's aunt Aunt May was supposed to be Jacob Marley. And then you had the spirits of Christmas past, present, and future, who were, of course, supposed to be the ghosts of past, present, and future. So while the characters weren't exactly the same as in the novel, it was still great. I still like the characters. They were very well done to portray the characters from the novel that they were supposed to. And yes, they had to change it a little bit to dress it up for, to make it more Barbie, so more little girl, but we'll get more into that in the next part. I also liked how the ghost of Christmas future in this version was not scary. Every other version of A Christmas Carol, even the actual written version of Charles Dickens, which I have read, the ghost of Christmas future, or ghost of Christmas yet to come, as he's also referred to, always scared the bejesus out of me. He was like even to this day, he scares me. He's like so scary. Like not Halloween horror movie scary, but still like very, very creepy. Especially when he's coming off of in a lot of the versions, I think the Magoo version's the one difference, and we'll talk about that when I do a review on that one. He's coming off of the Ghost of Christmas Present, who is very jolly and happy and whatnot. And then you go from this jolly, happy, bright spirit to this very dark, foreboding spirit, and it's just so creepy and scary. But this one is not. She's very different. She wears the cloak, very similar to like all the other interpretations do, but her face isn't hidden, and unlike the other ones where all the other versions where the Ghost of Christmas Spirit, or the Ghost of Christmas Future, or the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, whatever you want to call him, doesn't talk. He just gestures and lets Scrooge kind of interpret the future as he will. She talks in this. She actually does talk to Eden. So that is a little discrepancy, like a little difference from the actual story line. But again, this was for real little girls. So they did make some changes to it, which is okay. Poetic licensing, it's okay. It didn't deviate, it didn't change from the story anything for me. Secondly, I love the storyline. I mean, A Christmas Carol is one of my favorite Christmas stories. I absolutely love it. I read it in, I think, junior high or high school. I actually read the story. It was for English class, so I kind of had to read it. But I still liked it. And I've seen a lot of movies that are based on A Christmas Carol. I mean, Christmas Carol is probably one of the more popular movies to do for Christmas that's not religious or has anything to do with Santa. So I've seen a lot of different adaptations of A Christmas Carol. I've seen Mickey's Christmas Carol, which was the very first Christmas Carol I've ever seen. I've seen this one, obviously. I've seen A Muppet Christmas Carol, which is my favorite. That is my favorite Christmas Carol version that does not 100% follow the storyline. I've seen Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. I've seen a Looney Tunes Christmas Carol. And I've seen A Christmas Carol starring Patrick Stewart, which is hands down my favorite Christmas Carol version. And I will try to find that on DVD so I can do a review of it next year for you guys. If not, it will be in the works. It's one of my favorites. I do want to do a review on that one because it's my absolute favorite one. Most of them follow Charles Dickens's version very well. They may make a few tweaks depending on the audience. So like Mickey's Christmas Carol and A Muppet Christmas Carol, do they follow the story of A Christmas Carol well? Yes, they hit on all the important parts. Same thing with Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. They hit on all the important parts. They do sanitize them to a smidge. And that's because there's a few things in the original writing that is a trifle dark for a Christmas movie. And so they do sanitize it a little bit because those three movies were made for kids, and they had to kind of sanitize it to a degree. But they do hit on all the important parts. Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol is a little different from the other ones because the spirits are a little out of order. But we'll talk more about that when I do a review on that one. Looney Tunes Christmas Carol is kind of like this one. It follows the line of A Christmas Carol to the degree that it's the same plot line. But it's not like the Looney Tunes version of A Christmas Carol where it's the wicked greedy moneylender or anything who finds the error of his ways through the Christmas spirits. It's a little different. And if I can find that on DVD, I'll do a review on that one as well. But all of those, the only one that I've seen that was not made for kids was the one with Patrick Stewart in it. So all the other ones I've seen that were made for kids. So yeah, they were sanitized to a degree because you don't want to scare the kids too much. And they're very, very good introductions to the classic story. Where Patrick Stewart actually follows the story, the one he's in, follows the story, almost point for point. I mean, there's stuff in his movie that's not in the others, but his movie was probably made more for grown-ups. So, but I'm getting off topic here. But anyway, so I like the storyline of this one because it does follow the story of A Christmas Carol, even if it's not exactly 100% exactly like the Christmas Carol. It's the same basic storyline. It's just instead of a greedy, self-centered moneylender meeting with the spirits of Christmas past, present, and future, and changing the error of his ways. I don't think I have to tell you that Eden changes the error of her ways. It's a singer, a self-centered singer who's very much a diva. And I'm not saying all singers are divas, but Eden is definitely very much a diva. She's portrayed as a diva in this film, who is visited by 3 spirits and then changes the error of her ways. So, I mean, a little bit of a spoiler on the ending for that part, but if you know A Christmas Carol, you know that that's going to happen. So there is that to it, and it is a very cute, very Barbie Christmas movie. It's very cute. It does follow the theme of most of Barbie's movies, or at least the ones I've seen, where it starts out in our time and it ends in our time, and Barbie's basically telling a story to her little sister Kelly. And the bulk of the movie is that story. So it does follow that line as well. And I have a good chunk of the other Barbie movies, so I'll try within the next year to do at least a couple of those for Movie Talk as well. So I mean, it's cute, it's adorable, it's very much little girl, very much Barbie, is about all I can say to it. It probably among my top 4 favorite adaptations of A Christmas Carol. So, I mean, it has that going for it. Granted, I've only seen like 6, but it's still, I mean, it beats out the 2 that, it beats out 2 of them. Like I said, it's very cute. It's very cute and very, very girly. But you know, that's Barbie. Barbie's very cute, very girly. So, but that is also Barbie's brand. It's made. She was made for girls. She was made to empower girls. So this story very much follows that line, and it still follows to a degree Charles Dickens' story of A Christmas Carol. So I do love it. And so for this movie, I give it 4.5 hearts. It gets half a heart because despite being called A Christmas Carol, and despite the fact that I absolutely love it, and I do love it, it is probably one of my favorite Barbie movies. I would have liked it probably a little more if the plot line followed, like the character plot line followed A Christmas Carol a little more, but obviously instead they couldn't. They did well, they could have, but they chose not to. But that's okay. Their choice, poetic licensing. It's just her being a singer to me. Just I like the Charles Dickens version where he's a moneylender. That's just what I grew up with. That's basically every version I've seen. So I'm so used to that idea that it's hard for me to switch to the person learning the lesson in the story being visited by the spirits is anything but a moneylender. So that's why it gets half a heart. That's the only reason. I do like it. It is one of my top 4 favorite versions of A Christmas Carol. And it is one of my favorite Barbie movies. It's probably within the top 10. Or if it's not in the top 10, it would definitely make an honorable mention if I did a list of my favorite Barbie movies. So it is pretty high up on the list. And like I said, it's number 14. I'd have to actually go back and see how many Barbie movies have been made after it. I think a couple. I think there's at least 15, maybe 20 that were made total. But again, don't quote me on that. I'd have to go back and look online.